Hey guys, what's up? It's Justin, aka Diego again. Let's get the obvious out of the way. I am now a horde. I'm a blood elf. We, as a guild, transferred over to Gorfine, basically because Mugthal is a shit server, and during peak hours, the lag was just so bad, it actually hindered our progression. So we all just decided to get up and go, and now I'm a blood elf doing a dance in Undercity. Dude, the dance is so good. And watch, this bitch tries to come in. Get out of my way. I'm dancing. Get the fuck out of here. I'm dancing. Did you see this? Throwing elbows. Anyway, so I got a lot of you guys are really concerned about how to gear up when you first start out. I wanted to show you just kind of my basic gear, which is very subjective because obviously I know a lot of you guys aren't going to be able to attain this gear, especially right off the bat. But I wanted to show you to better yourself as a tank, you want to have multiple gear sets. Now I understand a lot of you guys might do it as an off spec. It might obviously, and you might be newer to tanking, and you might not do it as much as I do. Like I have both my specs are prot, so that's basically all I do is I just tank. I don't really have a DPS. I don't have a DPS spec, although I do have the gear, and I have holy gear as well, but I don't ever heal. I have a threat set, which I have equipped now, which is I'm almost hit capped, and I have a good amount of expertise right over the soft expertise cap, which basically means a lot of my attacks are going to connect, which max will be high sustained threat. This gear that I just equipped is my boss gear. It's a mix of threat gear, so some hit, some threat in there, and then some pieces that have some avoidance on it as well. So pretty good for survivability and also good for threat. I use that on bosses that are kind of just like not too hard, but maybe something that's like that I need that extra survivability on. Maybe something like Fester Gut or what have you. My avoidance set, which you'll see my defense here. Defense jumps up to I get about 30% dodge, 25% parry. That I use that on Sourfang heroic, who if you take damage, whoever has Mark of the Fallen Champion takes additional damage. So it's one wave. When you avoid that damage, the Mark will take less damage. Not he won't take extra damage, I should say. My effective health set, which is basically just my armor set, with devotion, or I think I'm at 36,000 armor and change, with about 37,500 health unbuffed. So really good for hard hitting bosses like Fester Gut heroic and so on and so forth. And then I have a soak set. This ring right here I want to show you. It's an item level 245. Comparatively to my other gear, it's pretty low, but it's one of the best. It's third best in slot, I think, from for effective health standpoints. And then I have a soak set, which is just basically I don't give a shit about any other stats except my health pool. It's 37.7 and change unbuffed. I use this on Blood Queen Lanithil to off tank, and a couple other fights where it does not matter. For my avoidance, like I can't think of any right off the bat aside from that, like off tanking on Lord Marigar maybe, because you might be able to avoid the cleaves and stuff, so it might be a mix of effective health slash avoidance gear. But as a tank, you really can better yourself by collecting multiple gear sets, for all sorts of different encounters. I also have a block set, which is my gimmick set for a noob hard mode, and a frost visit set for Syndragosa. That's just an extreme case. You don't have to collect those pieces of gear, but it does make the fight significantly easier. But it does bring you around as a better all around. It will make you a better tank if you can switch pieces out based on the fight. Some fights it's not necessary to have 70 or 47,000 health unbuffed. It's more necessary that DPS doesn't pull the boss from you, so it might be worth your while to put on some more threat gear. Now, I know a majority of you guys are just going to have one type of taking set, because maybe it's your offset or whatever. And the best way to itemize that is rule of thumb is just basically what gives you more health. Health is basically your most vital stat as a tank, and then obviously there are other stats that do help. But if you can't stay alive, there's no point in being able to hold threat. There's no point in being able to dodge an attack a little bit more than the other guy. If you can't survive an encounter, there's no point in you tanking. So rule of thumb is if it gives you more health, it's probably going to be better for you in the long run. Obviously that's subjective, but that's the just basic rule of thumb. So when you're starting out, guys, and I wanted to talk about an add-on real quick. It's called the Ratings Buster. It's a really good add-on. You'll see it does a stat summary. It's in the bottom part of the item. In the lower right, anything that's in red means it's a downgrade, and anything that's in green means an upgrade. And it breaks everything down. For me, it's attack power, hit rating, holy damage, spell hit, armor, defense, dodge, parry, avoidance. And then you could also preset for something that it's not gemmed. Say it just dropped. You could preset it to throw in gems for you, meta gems, blue gems, red gems, yellow gems, so on and so forth. And it will give you the breakdown after it's gemmed, so you don't really have to do math in your head. You could just look at it and be like, oh, that's going to be 300 more health with a blue gem already put in it. It's probably going to be an upgrade, so you're going to either roll need on it, or however you do your loot systems, or what have you. So it's just a good way of finding out what's a direct upgrade almost instantly. I wanted to show you how fast the Q times are as a tank. They're extremely fast, guys. There's no reason why you can't Q almost instantly as a tank and just grind out these 5-mans. That's what you got to do when you first level. You just gotta hopefully you didn't level as ret, because then it'd be a little bit harder, because then you gotta queue as ret and then pick up gear, and it's gonna be a little bit harder because obviously the other tank in there, if he is a plate wearer, is gonna be wanting those pieces as well. And not to mention, druids and stuff probably want the same necks and rings and trinkets as you want. But you just gotta grind out all these 5-mans. There's a bunch of epic gear in these 5-mans. Don't really worry about item level when you're starting out. Just go for the purples. Just go for epics. That's it. You want to get all purples through all the normal 5-mans. Through all the heroic 5-mans that you can, and then start with the harder heroics. The new Ice Crown ones, or the Trial of the Champion ones. I'm just showing you all the gear there is a bunch of gear. This is just a small selection, a small portion of gear in these 5-mans. But basically just get all epics and then just grind it out. It is a snowball effect. It's going to be harder. It's kind of a catch-22, because you're not going to be able to find a lot of groups not having a lot of gear, and then you're not going to be able to get that gear because you're not going to have the gear you need to tank any of the stuff. So you just really have got to get all these triumph badges, get your tier 9 gear, and then just keep doing them until you're secure enough to start going to these heroics. And I wanted to show you these groups. Some of these groups are going to be bad. I mean, it's not going to be just you. This druid, for example, just fucking suicides himself right into a whirlwinding boss. You'll see right here. Runs right into him, dead. I don't know if you guys saw that, but you can rewind it. He just jumped right into the boss that's whirlwinding. Didn't move when he was whirlwinding. Just stupid. So, and then again, after this, I res him up, and he suicides in the next pull. So, I mean, it's not going to be just you. You really have just got to... there's going to be groups that are going to be bad. There's going to be groups... me, personally, I'm usually the top DPS in my groups as a tank. And that's not uncommon with my gear, and sometimes... where these pugs come from, but and it's going to be a flip side of that too. Sometimes there's going to be DPS that's going to just pull off of you no matter what, and you really just got to do your best to keep a good attitude about it and just keep doing them. There you see him just run right in there, not healed, nothing, just gets his ass kicked. It's funny, but so just keep a good attitude about it, guys. Just keep doing these 5-mans until you get all the loot you can. Make a set list of gear that you want from which heroics. Know what drops. You can use Atlas loot for that. Other than that, just keep doing them till you get your tier 9 gear, till you replace all of your blues, and then you can start doing some raids and so on and so forth once your health and gear is looking good. But again, if you have any questions, comments down below. Let me know. Again, I'm on Gorfiend, so if you want to just chat with me on there, feel free. But this is Diego, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.